What's up guys? I hope you're really excited about the new R32 because I'm super pumped. And today, I'm actually gonna drive it just for a little bit at the event just to do some test laps. But before I take it out on track, there's a couple things that I wanna get sorted on it and go over just to make sure we're okay. Number one, just for the heck of it, I wanna do a boost leak test, but I don't have my boost leak tester because it's in the trailer, so I'm gonna show you how to make a boost leak tester in like 5 minutes.
The size of this will depend on your actual intake system, but I happen to have the perfect size PVC pipe plug thing laying around from Home Depot. So we'll take this, drill a hole right in the center. Then we're going to take an old bicycle tube. It can be popped. It doesn't need to be popped, but that's okay if it's popped. And we're gonna make sure that the hole is big enough to fit the BMX tube valve stem in there. And now that we've got that situated, we're gonna cut a piece of the tube so it's basically the same size as this square. Scissors. We don't need to be exact with this. It doesn't really matter. The idea is we basically want it to be able to fit in here nice and snug. Look at that, ready to find boost leaks. So the idea is when you pressurize the system, it should push this against here. So we should be able to get away with using some, well normally in the past I've used super glue, but now I wanted to use some Permatex Right stuff because this stuff sets really, really fast and I'm impatient and I want to like do a boost leak test in like 10 minutes. So I'm hoping that this will set fast enough. I don't know if it'll work or not, but it's worth a shot. The main important area is that it has some sort of glue between the actual tube and the PVC, but I laid it on top on both ends just to play it extra safe. Right off the bat, I go to check the oil, and on top of being extremely low, it's also black. So we're gonna take care of that first. Low cars are a pain to put on the lift. We have to like put it on ramps to get the front and the toe move.
What are you saying?
I don't know, man. I get so nervous jacking up new cars.
It's a very long car, like it's huge.
This is what I was referring to when I said the car had a leaky rear main seal. Overall, this car, pretty clean for a Japan car, not really much rust. You know, it's got little spots here and there. For what I'm using it for though, it's not a big deal. Interesting fact, in Japan, there's not a lot of fabricators or people that are good at welding. So you'll notice lots of really like janky welds. I guess it's just not as common of a thing over there because less people have access to like a shop or their own welder or anything. Overall though, the car's in pretty good shape under here. Looks like we could use some Tommy FES subframe powder coating back here.
Does it have the rear thing? Is that the
Oh yeah, so it doesn't have the rear, it doesn't have the Hikis delete. Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of that. I don't think we're gonna be drifting the Skyline today. The oil filter is very tough on there and I went to go do the little like tap the screwdriver trick. And it looks like there's some sort of oil cooler on the RB, and it literally, like not oil cooler, but like a sandwich plate that hooks up to like an oil cooler or something, or maybe that runs coolant through it, and that thing just literally broke right off, which is very bad. Very bad. I can't really show you guys.
No, should I get that light up?
I don't even know how that's shown. I just hope it didn't like screw up the block. Can you see that light? My hands aren't that dirty. Oh.
Try the one right here, back here, this way.
Huh?
Right here, back here. There you go.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's not good. I was legit freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what is that piece of metal in there? And then I realized it's a screwdriver. So I think for whatever reason, this wasn't really installed correctly, or maybe the wrong filter was used, because it looked like there was only like one thread on the block there that just pulled out, so it might actually be salvageable. We'll see. I called up Tommy, who has quite a bit of knowledge with RBs, and what makes sense, since there's only one line running here, this isn't a cooler. This is actually just a sandwich plate strictly for an aftermarket oil pressure sensor. Maybe tied into the factory oil pressure gauge, I don't know. But we're just gonna delete this because that was incredibly sketchy and it's just not getting enough threads on the block. So we're just gonna put an oil filter on there and be much safer and then just delete this. I definitely missed my SR a little bit because this is way easier on an SR. The good news is with the filter, without that weird, stupid aftermarket blocked sandwich plate, we get a solid amount of threads on there, so we should be good. So what I'll do is I'll fill her up with oil and then we'll just start her up and check for leaks underneath just to play it safe. Ironically, the aftermarket oil pressure sensor wasn't even plugged in anything. So whoever JDM sold this car, JDM took off their JDM oil pressure sensor. We're good, look at that. All that freak out for nothing. Fill her up with oil, do a boost leak test, good. So my idea did not work because I forgot that I have to put pressure on the valve and it just pushes right in. But I came up with another idea. Since there is this little guy right in here, oh, I gotta fix that fitting of this. I should be able to pressurize the system by doing this. But I can't hear because this stupid thing is leaking. Needs like a new O-ring. There we go. Now what we should do is spray on the couplers to see.
I'm so spoiled right now, driving in the track in AC in my new Skyline. I love it.
Let's hear a rev.
No, this is where I'm talking about.
I know, that's why I need a rev. Hey. Definitely gonna miss how dialed this car is and how like smooth it is. It's nice. Squatted up deep at the gas station. Nicole's gonna be driving her S13. I have the Skyline that I'm gonna be testing out, and then Schulman's actually bringing the Z, since I'm only gonna take this thing for a couple laps since it's definitely not drift ready. I think this is the first time this car's actually been filled up since Japan, so it kind of smelled funny, so I think it had some like really old gas in it, so this is much needed. The car really doesn't feel that fast. I would say maybe 50 horsepower or 75 horsepower less than Nicole's JZ. So I would estimate the car probably has somewhere around like maybe 250, 260. Feels a little bit rowdier than like a stock SR. But it does not spin the wheels in any gear, and it's not really gripped up either. We can fix that. Oh, come on, Tommy. I was about to take a Skyline gang photo, but your front bumper's missing, dog. We look good together though from the back, that's for sure. Tommy's got me all paranoid because he thinks with how laggy it is that it might actually be an RB20. There's no real way to tell because someone could have just swapped the like valve covers and the like front cover and stuff. So we gotta, I should have looked for the stamp when I was up on the lift. That would be kind of lame. Turbo no es bueno. Hay mucho shafto playo. Wow. Can I get this thing rebuilt by like Turbo Bay or something?
Correct.
Cool. Or I could just put a Garrett on there.
Yes, put a Garrett on there. That's what I would do.
Let me turn off AC. All right, let's see how she rips. Wheels got a little skittish. I think the handbrake does work in this, so that's good. We'll go a little timid for the first one. Feels pretty good. The alignment definitely needs some work though. Uh-oh. I can't tell if the car got slow or if it just felt weird when it got out of drift. Huh. I think the turbo stopped working. I think my bad turbo got extra bad. I got one lap out of her. Not bad. I think I'm gonna chill out. I definitely don't feel very confident on the way that it's like entering and stuff. So we're gonna preserve the car and we'll wait till we get it way more sorted. You can tell that my entries are a little all over the place, mainly because of the handbrake. I kind of want to try to follow again though. I'll try to follow one more time. Where did it all come from? You think it's from the... No, I don't know if it's from the filter. Is there a catch can?
Well, we always see, look at all this. On here, the oil in the turbo.
Oh, sick, dude. RV props.
Oil down there, oil here.
Now me and the mad scientist gotta go back home, fix this thing.
boy, that was close.
Oh man.
I'm kind of like the Z is so good. Like, why would I get a Skyline? This thing's so freaking reliable and dialed and doesn't spit oil and smoke and have bad turbo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys could see the lightning in the background, but it stormed pretty crazy, so we dipped out on the earlier side from the OSW night event. Where does this leave us with the RB? Because I know the title might have been a little bit misleading. However, I definitely am not going to run any more events with the car in the current shape that it is. I'm really hoping the blow-by is nothing major and it's not rings and that it's something stupid or some sort of weird PCV system malfunction. The turbo is definitely bad, so I want to get a Garrett 3071 on there. The problem is apparently getting a manifold for these cars is very difficult. Doc Race is what people have recommended me to go with for the RB25. However, I think they have like a month lead time. So if any of you guys happen to have like a baller manifold just chilling on your shelf or something, let me know. There's obviously some other stuff I would do as well as switching the turbo. I think I want to focus on getting the powertrain on the car sorted first. I'll probably keep like driving around as daily until I can get the parts that I need. Then I'll start ripping it apart and get the powertrain all sorted out and then start working on like the steering and angle and all that stuff with the car. Oh, I don't think I mentioned in the video, there is an RB25 stamp on the box. I knew exactly what I was getting into with this car. I think I was just being a little bit like purposefully naive and just hoping that this would just be like some rad special car that just worked and didn't have a bunch of issues, but it's the nature of the game and you can't really avoid it. So either way, this car's a blast. I'm stoked about it. Did you see Nicole killing it on the track? I can't get over her car, no matter what stage it's in or how much grip or whatever motor it's ever had, has always been so fast and drifting. Like, I don't get it. I have no idea why. Her car is just ridiculously fast. On that note, I'm gonna go to bed. It's very late. Hope you guys enjoy this video and are excited for what the future holds for this thing. All right, good night.